In October of 2019, DC Comics, Warner Brothers, as well as director Todd Phillips released Joker. The film did incredibly well, scoring a 4.4 out of 5 with most audiences. However, the first movie is not the main focus of today's video. Today, we will be discussing the film's sequel, Joker: Folie à Deux. Let's talk about it. So today we are talking about Joker 2, but before diving into why it wasn't such a success, let's talk about the first film. Directed by Todd Phillips, Joker follows the story of Arthur Fleck, a failed clown and aspiring stand-up comedian whose descent into mental illness culminates with the emergence of an alter ego known as Joker, and inspires a violent, countercultural revolution against the wealthy in a decaying Gotham City. The movie did incredibly well with the film's dark take on the Joker character. The entire film is very violent. One of the biggest plot points of the movie is Arthur shooting a Tonight Show host. The scene is known as How About Another Joke Murray. This scene has become iconic in the film industry. Here's a couple clips of people just referencing it.
I killed those three guys, those Wall Street guys on the train, on the subway, and you know, they just deserved it.
I mean, he's kind of right.
What? Really?
Playing my video. Invited me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me. You're just like the rest of them.
What's going on here?
But most of all,
Hey, settle down. Take it easy. What the scallop?
I'm a goofy goober!
Another great thing about this movie is the acting. Many people debated whether or not Joaquin Phoenix's take on the character was better than Heath Ledger's. Phoenix's acting in the film won him an Oscar for Best Performing Actor in a Leading Role. So, you know, that's a very big deal. Actually, let me see what other Oscars the movie won. So these are Academy Awards that Joker won. Best Actor, Best Original Score, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Film Editing, Best Sound Mixing, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Sound Editing. You want to leave some awards for the rest of the people. Good God. You know, before the film, Joaquin Phoenix was obviously a very well-known actor. And I feel like after Joker was released, we got to see him more in leading roles in movies, such as Ridley Scott's Napoleon or Ari Aster's Beau is Afraid. But yeah, I love this film. Everyone loves this film. This movie is put on like a golden pedestal by everyone, especially film students. You can't forget about the film students. So obviously the movie companies saw, hey, this movie did pretty good. We're gonna make another one. In June of 2001, a very interesting announcement was made by Warner Brothers. They announced that a sequel for Todd Phillips' Joker is not only in the works, but it will be a musical. When this first got announced, I remember being confused, but also, you know, obviously I'm interested to see how they're gonna do this. Because at the time, I didn't really have any idea how they were gonna make such a depressing story a musical. But after they announced this, there was nothing. No one knew what stage they were at on its production. However, on June 7th, 2022, Todd Phillips released a post on social media revealing the title for the sequel, which was Joker: Folie à Deux, which I do not know if I'm saying that right. Let me check.
Folie à Deux.
Folie à Deux. It says Folie à Deux. Okay, well, I think my version sounds better, so I'm just gonna keep calling it that. Folie à Deux? Really? I've been calling it wrong for like 5 months. The phrase Folie à Deux translates to shared madness or madness of two in French. This title drop would lead to many speculations of the storyline of the upcoming film and how the mental illness could be shared between Arthur Fleck and a possible Harley Quinn character. Then about 2 months later, on August 4th, 2022, the movie world was surprised by an announcement from Warner Brothers and DC Comics announcing the two co-lead actors of the sequel, featuring Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I feel like this is where most people got really excited for the film, because obviously you have Lady Gaga, who already has a massive following, then you're combining it with people who loved the first Joker movie. Lady Gaga had previously been on the big screen with films such as House of Gucci and A Star is Born, both movies that I have not watched. Unfortunately, fans of the first film would have to wait a whole 2 years before seeing it on the big screen, with the release date being in 2024. As time went on, multiple clips were posted on the internet which captured behind the scenes of the film's recording stage. I remember seeing these clips on the internet and just being very excited to watch this movie. There's a clip of Joaquin Phoenix being chased by two guys and one of them gets hit by a taxi cab. The classic Joker stares, Lady Gaga was dancing on that. Finally, on April 9th, 2024, the first trailer for Joker 2 was released, immediately becoming #1 on trending for YouTube. The video currently has over 37 million views. I know the movie already came out, but it just shows you how many people were following this movie. The trailer gave everyone a release date for the movie, which was October 4th, 2024. And a second trailer for the film was released on July 23rd, 2024. The long-awaited sequel was ready to release. Everyone was looking forward to seeing this movie. The second tickets were available to purchase, and before reviews for the movie even came in, people filled theaters. October 4th eventually arrived and people went to the theaters.
A Joker movie that should have never been made. In my opinion, this film was so bad for me, it actually made me dislike the first Joker as well.
And now we have a movie that's really difficult to describe and break down because it lacks all sense of focus.
I had a couple friends of mine see this movie before I did, and they all hated it, and I'd already seen a lot of the buzz online about it not being very good, and I just thought to myself that it couldn't possibly be as bad as people were saying. But hooey! It's really just not good.
Yeah, no one liked it. Let's just look at some reviews for the movie. So you go on the Google, 31% Rotten Tomatoes. It's a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb. It's a 2.4 on Letterboxd. Wow. I'm looking at a graph right here that has some 5s, little to no 4s, 3s, or 2s, and a whole lot of 1s. I went into Joker Folie with high hopes, considering how powerful and thought-provoking the first film was. Unfortunately, the sequel was a complete letdown. What made the original Joker great, its raw potential of mental illness, society's failures, and the descent into madness was completely overshadowed by a chaotic mess in this follow-up. What is this movie? Just watched this with my wife. Gonna be honest, it's a very strange choice. Disconnected and disappointing follow-up. If could give negative stars, that would be ideal. Don't waste your time, or more importantly, your money. All right, before we continue, I'm just gonna give a little spoiler warning. So I feel like a big thing that happened with this movie is that it is completely different from the first film. So you have to separate the two, Joker 1, Joker 2. You cannot expect the same type of movie, which obviously, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Because you got people who watched the movie 5 years ago who are expecting basically the same type of movie. So now let's compare descriptions of the two films. So the description of the first film was, Joker follows the story of Arthur Fleck, a failed clown and aspiring stand-up comedian whose descent into mental illness culminates with the emergence of an alter ego known as Joker and inspires a violent countercultural revolution against the wealthy in a decaying Gotham City. Now, this is the description for the second film. A musical drama that explores Arthur's mental state and the further development of his iconic villainous identity, with a focus on the complete dynamic between him and Harley Quinn. A lot of people are going to look at this, they're going to see musical drama, and they're going to stop reading and never watch it. Because, going to be honest with you, a lot of people who like the first film, probably not the type of audience that are going to like musicals. You're not going to walk out of the first film and be like, wow, I really want to watch La La Land right now. The story of Folie takes place 2 years after the events of the first movie. We get to see Arthur Fleck's life in Arkham Asylum and how he's getting abused by the guards. He meets Lady Gaga's character, Lee Quinzel, and pretty much instantly falls in love with her. The movie is split in half, with the first half following the internal chaos shared between the two characters, while the second half is a courtroom drama that determines the punishment of Arthur's... Oh, wow. I wrote a script. I just read that part out loud. Yeah. I get it. I don't understand why people don't like this film. It's great. I really do think the big factor why people don't like it is the fact that it's a musical. But you can't go into this movie knowing it's a musical and be expecting Singing in the Rain or, again, La La Land, because that's just not what you're gonna get. Many songs from the musical already exist and were hit songs from the 1930s to 1960s. Whenever the music is used in the movie, it usually takes place in a fictional scene that happens in Arthur's mind. Like there's a scene where the two are dancing on top of a rooftop. Obviously, that doesn't happen. happen. There's a scene where Arthur attacks the judge in a courtroom. That doesn't happen. That would be cool if that happened, but it doesn't. But overall, a lot of people just thought this movie was a waste of money and time on their part. But what's my opinion on it? I got to see Joker 2 on its first weekend in theaters, and personally, I really liked it. Don't click on the video, I know. I just got done saying why people do not like the movie. It makes sense why people don't like the movie, but I think this movie does a great job in the storytelling aspect. I really like how they showed us the internal thoughts of Arthur. I like how they used the music. I thought it was really cool how they managed to tell the story of Arthur being looked at as the villain, but also a hero to people of Gotham. The big thing with this movie is Arthur thinks that people love him for who he is, but actually they like Joker. And personally, I like that a lot. I also think that Lee was a very well-written character and very important to the story that Todd Phillips wanted to tell. But again, I do get why people don't like it. A clip that I keep seeing from the movie is this clip where Harley Quinn and Joker are in this jazz club. They're singing this song, how they're gonna build a mountain. Arthur is tap dancing and Lee is just on the piano, going to town on the piano, by the way. Oh my god. I will say this, the phrase "we're gonna build a mountain" has a whole lot of repetition in the film. When movies do this, obviously it's supposed to get your attention and that the phrase is gonna mean something later on in the film. It doesn't. No mountain is ever built. All you're seeing is Arthur tap dance on a stage of this random jazz club while someone is playing piano. But also, if you don't understand why the movie is a musical, you're not gonna like this movie. It's just gonna be 2 very confusing hours for you. And I think that's many people's situation. I will say though, there's a couple things that I think both movies do great. Cinematography and sound design. The soundtrack for both films are incredible. Both movies have very iconic shots. The first film is when Arthur is on the cop car, surrounded by all the people. He does a little bloody smile. The second scene, I'm not even kidding, has probably one of my favorite shots of any movie. It's a scene where Arthur lights a cigarette in his jail cell. You have the warm light in the background that illuminates the wall behind him. Everything about that shot I love. With the music, it's a very good shot. I like it. In the end, Todd Phillips is a very interesting director. If you don't know, he also directed the Hangover movies. I haven't watched them, but I did a quick Google search and it turns out a lot of people also didn't like the sequels to those movies. So maybe it's just a situation with Todd Phillips. Maybe he's just not good at making sequels. I just think it's hilarious to see how successful the first movie was and how excited people were to see the sequel. And when the sequel came and those first reviews came in and people saw that it was a musical, people just stopped buying tickets. There's a statistic out there which showed that Joker 2 made as much money on its second weekend that the sequel to Beetlejuice made on its 6th weekend when no one was going to see it anymore. Not only did audience members not enjoy seeing the movie, a lot of the actors themselves did not enjoy this movie. American comedian Tim Dillon went on multiple podcasts such as the Joe Rogan Experience and Bad Friends and talked about his experience about being on set for the Joker movie. This is a clip of Tim Dillon on Bad Friends talking about the movie before it released.
Okay. A lot of people are on it in the press.
Why?
They're panning on it. I don't know why, but I'll tell you right now, I had suggestions. They were not followed by the director.
Okay.
By Joaquin.
Yeah.
By Gaga. Now, if it's a stunning success, I'm proud to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But if it does fail, it is because they didn't utilize me in a proper way. Yep. But if it's a success, I am proud to be a part of it.
Now, same guy, same Tim Dillon. This is him after the movie released and after people said it was so bad.
It's the worst film ever made.
Why?
Well,
do you think they did it on purpose?
No. I think what happened after the first Joker was there was a lot of talk ooh, this was loved by incels. This was loved by the wrong kinds of people, and this sent the wrong kinds of male rage, nihilism, all these think pieces.
Right.
And then I think, what if we went the other way, and now they have Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga tap dancing to a point where it's insane.
Supposedly, even Joker himself does not like this movie. There's a clip out there of Joaquin Phoenix talking to Lady Gaga. The video is dubbed over because you can't hear what they're saying, but it looks like he says that the movie is awful.
It's horrible.
Haha. No, it's not. Don't say that.
I do think it was.
You think so?
Certainly.
Oh, why is that?
Yes.
Why? What are you talking
The ending
about?
could have been different.
No, I loved it.
Indeed. Yikes.
Todd, great film. Thank you.
We don't know if that's actually what he says, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's what he said. They even made fun of the movie at the Golden Globes.
Wicked, some people complained that the movie was ruined by people singing, you know? And then at Joker 2, some people complained that the movie was ruined by the images on the screen and the sounds that accompanied them, but... I'm sorry, Joker 2, where's their table? Oh, they're not here. That's right.
So yeah, it looks like everyone just does not like Joker 2 and everyone wants to just think that the first one is its own standalone film with no sequels, no nothing. Joker Folie à Deux is now available to watch on HBO Max with a subscription. I don't know why I said that like it was a sponsorship. I'm not sponsored by HBO Max. That would be pretty cool though. I'm willing to die on the hill that Joker 2 is a good film. I know no one else is going to be on that hill with me, but it's okay. But what did you think about Joker 2? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you not watch it? Do you even care? If there's another film you want me to review, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and support the channel, and I will see you in the next video.